4.5D Practice Writing Equations. Sketch a graph with an odd function, which means that it's going to be a S-shaped graph, and positive leading coefficient. It means it's going to rise on the right side and fall on the left side. So it's something like this. For sketch a graph for letter B, you're going to write the function which is odd degree, and it means it's a S shape. Negative coefficient or leading coefficient means that it's going to rise on the left side and it's going to fall on the right side. So something like that. For letter C, you're going to sketch an even graph, means either U or a W-shaped graph. So even degree and positive leading coefficient is going to face up, whether it's a W or it's a U shape, is going to face up. Even degree again is going to be a U shape or is going to be a W shape graph. Negative means it's going to face down, so both hands going to go down, and is going to be a U or a W shape graph. Next we are going to do number 1. Given the graph below, identify degree, leading coefficient, sign. First of all, this is going to be a S-shaped graph. It means the degree is going to be odd. Either is 3, 4, or 3, 5, 7 or so. Degree also depends on the x values. So x value here we have here is x equals -5, x equals -2, and x equals 7. This is a y-intercept, so we don't worry about the y-intercept yet. We're going to write that into a factor form. So we're going to get it x plus 5, x plus 2, and x minus 7. Now we're going to decide the sign in the front. So it's rising on the left and falling on the right. It means it's a negative. Leading coefficient is negative. X values are, there are 3 x values that suggest that I should have the degree for this type of function is 3. So it means the function in a factor form, x plus 5 times x plus 2 times x minus 7, and the leading coefficient is negative, that is -1. And it's also said leading coefficient is 1, so we do not have to write any other number, so it's just -1 in the front. Number 2, this shape, both ends going up, means the leading coefficient is positive. It's an even degree graph because it's either W or U, means it's an even degree graph. What is the degree depends on the number of x values. X values equal -4, -1, x equals 2, and x equals 6. So the factor form for this one is going to be x plus 4, x plus 1, x minus 2, and x minus 6. X plus 4, x plus 1, x minus 2, and x minus 6. So if there are 1, 2, 3, 4 x values, it means this is a degree 4 function, and the leading coefficient is positive and 1. So I don't have to write here, I can write 1, but I don't have to write +1 here. So the leading coefficient is +1, but I don't have to write. So I just leave my function like that. So question number 3, given the graph below, identify the degree and leading coefficient sign. This is a S-shaped graph, and it means we are going to identify how many x values here. If you notice here, the graph is coming down, touch it and go back. which means that this is going to be a repeating root. So I would rather write it x equals -2 and x equals -2 because it's a repeating root. And another root is x equals 5. The shape and the x values suggest me that this is degree 3, and then the leading coefficient for this one is going to be negative because this graph is rising on the left and falling on the right, so that's why it's negative. I want to write that into a function form, so I would write the negative in the front. I would have two factors from here, x plus 2 times x minus 5. I can write x plus 2 square because it's a repeating root times x minus 5. So these x plus 2 times x plus 2, I can write it as x plus 2 square times x minus 5. This is when the root is repeating. Here is also root is repeating, so it means if we're going to discuss number 4, the leading coefficient for that one is negative. The degree is 4 because I can see that it's a W shape. This is x equals 0, x equals 0, x equals -5, x equals 3. So what I have here is leading coefficient negative, x plus 5, x minus 0, x minus 0, which means x square, x minus 3. So I'm just rewriting in a better looking form. So your answer is fx equals -x squared times x plus 5 times x minus 3.